Hello and welcome to another episode. Well, do we even call this an episode? It's just me ranting about stories, all right, or giving my opinions on them. All right, today we're going to talk about heart killers, right? I've only seen the first episode of the story, just the first episode, and on my Twitter page, after I finish watching the show, I usually acknowledge a lot of shows that I watch, whether I like them or not. I say something with a hashtag and keep it moving. But with this particular one, I did not do that because I did not want the fans coming for me, and at the same time, I just did not want people thinking I'm just being a hater for hater's sake, right? So I did not do that. Um, and even right now, as I'm talking about them right now, I don't know. I'm a little bit scared. Not gonna lie. The fans can be a little bit brutal. So, and this is a YouTube page. I wanted to grow. I wanted to get more followers and stuff. But the thing is that at the same time, I want to talk about what I really want to talk about. Give my opinions and popular opinions and stuff, right? And I feel like I can really have it both ways. So I'm going to just stick with unpopular opinion. So even if like I get the most dislikes or even no views at all, at the very least, I knew that I was able to get out what I wanted to talk about. All right. So what I want to talk about. So I've only seen the first episode of Heart Killers, right? What I want to talk about is how the acting in Heart Killers has humbled the fans of one of the ship in the story. Right, that's what I'm going to talk about. I can't really pronounce their ship name properly. I think they are called First Cow or something like that, right? They're Kant and Bison characters, right? I'm just I'm not laughing at them. Don't get it twisted. I'm not doing that. It's just that I am kind of happy that the acting in that show has humbled those fans. Because when you're on Twitter and stuff, you see a lot of their fans usually saying the most about other people's acting. They see these people as the best actors ever on GMMTV and basically say the worst stuff about other people, basically using their love for Fest and Kautung. I hope that's his name, sorry for getting it wrong. They use their love for them to, by praising them, they end up like pushing other people down and stuff like that. And I don't really like that at all. So I'm kind of happy that in this show, they got to see that these people are not necessarily the greatest actors that they think they are, right? And for me, and also yeah, also in the show too, with the other couple, the John Dang couple, they two people usually deem them as people who cannot really act and they suck at acting and they are very bad and stuff like that. But in this show, funny enough, to me, they are doing a better job than the first Cowtown characters. Sorry, actors. Yeah, people, even before the show came out, I saw a lot of tweets where people are like, "Oh, it's the best actors with the worst actors. Hopefully, they give them a master class on how to act." But then the show came out, and I watched it, and it's like, "Oh no, because you watch it, and it's like it's interesting. Is what I'm going to say. It's interesting. So that's the first time I'm going to say. I like how they've been humbled. I like how those fans have been humbled. Because if you say here and say that those acting in that show, at least from first, Kautong, right? Based on their acting, you're saying that, oh, it's really good or really great, that you will land your damn self. Right? I'm not saying that they're terrible motherfuckers, or I'm not saying that they're terrible actors and stuff. I'm just saying in this particular show, it wasn't really given. And then the other characters are actually doing a good job. Especially the father character, the John character, he's doing a really, really good job. I only watched the first episode, so I can't really say much about it. So I'm just talking based on the first episode. See, the first episode, it opens up with us getting to know the Bison character. And in the beginning, he's supposed to act very all kinds of like sexy with a dark past, but can also kill somebody and stuff, right? And honestly, it wasn't given any of that. It felt way too forced. I was watching it and I was seeing an actor play a role instead of seeing a character doing stuff. That's what you're supposed to see. You're supposed to see the character doing whatever they're doing. The business character just being business, right? You're not supposed to see an actor pretending to play a character. So when I saw that, it was like this is not right, right? And as I kept watching the show, I noticed the same thing for the Kant character and a little bit for the father and star character. So with time, I noticed that maybe just maybe this like a production issue, and that's why like as in they were probably told to act in a particular way, and that's why it's given that. But also at the same time, it felt like that is probably how best they can. Some of them can actually take on the role, in my opinion. So that's the first thing I want to say. So basically, that's the end of the video. But since I'm already making a video, let me just talk about how I felt about the first episode, which is the only thing I've seen. So that's all I'm talking about. I'm just basing everything I'm saying on the first episode, not on the entire show. I don't know how the entire show, goes. Whether it gets better or worse, I have no idea. But for the first episode, that's all I know. So that's the only thing I can talk about. All right. So for the first episode, ah, the production style of the story seems like it's mimicking an American style of series. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of those style of story, style of visuals and stuff from like those American stuff. And I feel like probably could also be the reason why there's like an acting issue in it, or there's a reason why the scenes are not smoothing out properly. Because it's, I don't know, but something is not given in this show, honestly. At the very least, in the first episode, something is not given. And when I was watching it, it's only like the star character. The star character, he was giving me something. But even with him, I felt like he was supposed to be a comedic kind of character to a degree, but even his comedy was misplaced. It doesn't feel. It's kind of there, but not really. You know what I'm trying to say? And that could that could also be an acting issue, or could just be the production style. It's overall, it's kind of hard to tell throughout the show, but yeah. So that was one of the things that made it very hard for me to watch the show. I was watching it and it felt very cringe. Yes, it felt very, very cringe. And the scenes were cutting in ways that I don't know. Whoever the director is, I think his name is Jojo, right? I feel like they mimicked the wrong American series or style of production because it's not giving what it's supposed to give, in my opinion. It's not. And I don't know, right? And one more thing I want to say about the acting stuff is that people people on Twitter, or at the very least, people that I've seen talk about this kind of situation, they always deem you as a good actor, as a great actor, if you can cry in a series or a movie or show. So the more you cry or the more you look very sad and hurt, the better of an actor you are. But if you're somebody that smiles a lot or like plays positive roles, they don't usually give you they don't usually brand you as a great actor. And I think that's one of the reasons why the first Cow Dang or Dung character actors, I think that's why their fans overhype them a little bit, in my opinion, in terms of the acting. Because for some of the scenes that we saw them sorry some of the stories that we saw them in, it usually had to do with them like heavily crying or being very sad and hurt and stuff. So based on that I, I think there was even one scene from Moonlight Chicken which people usually quote to show that one of them is like a very good actor, and it's just a scene of him like crying or something like that or being very sad and stuff. And That's what they use to determine who is a great actor and who is not. And in my opinion, that is bogus. You shouldn't use that. You should just use their overall, emotional range, whether they're happy, sad, mad, all that kinds of emotions. Like if they are consistent across board, then you can say that. But if they are not, you can't really give them that hashtag of this the best actor ever. But yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of done talking. This video is not going to be that long. I think it's barely 10 minutes. But what do you call it? The they did not do a good job in terms of the acting, but mainly for the Besson character, Besson actor, he like the facial expressions that he was given for the role that he was playing was something that I couldn't believe. Like as I said, right from the beginning, I think an older man goes to like those kind of sex pub and he's trying to pick up a hooker or somebody of that sort, and he says that he chooses him. And based on the people that were sitting there, they were supposed to give off like we sexy, with this, with that, we are full of ourselves, but we also like I don't know. There's an energy that comes with that, but the energy the actor was given there was not believable at all, in my opinion. In other people's opinion, they would think they to them it was believable, right? But to me, it wasn't. Okay, to me, it wasn't. To me, it felt too forced. And then later on, he then became some sort of playful kind of character, but then it didn't even make sense for the character that he was. I don't know. I don't know. It's just there was something not working. Maybe it was a bad day, or maybe there's an issue with the directing too. I don't know what exactly the problem is, but the acting in that I usually don't talk bad about actings in like people's actings in show. I usually don't like to talk about that because it's a very, very sensitive, topic. You don't want to say it and make the person feel like, very bad about themselves. You don't want to do that, right? So I usually don't do that. But in this particular one, I kind of have to talk about it because those fans, they are just the fans are the fans are sometimes a problem. Okay, maybe sometimes the actors themselves are not, but sometimes the fans they are the ones that make things worse because they would then use that to shame other people when the other people are doing a decent job. For me, when I watch a show, I'm not necessarily looking for the best actor in the show or the worst actor in the show. Watching I just watch a show where the acting makes sense across board. So if it's good acting, then every character gotta be good at it. And if it's bad acting, every character gotta be bad at it, right? The point is to have a level at which you all kind of are on so that it doesn't feel displaced that one person is doing too much and the other person is doing the least, right? It has to mix well with each other. So for that, it makes it easier for me to enjoy certain shows even if the acting is not given like that. And with this show, the acting is not really given like that across board for the most part, in my opinion. Though I feel like the father and star character more like Father, the Father character, I feel like he is doing more than a decent acting compared to the rest. But even that is still, I feel like across board there is something a little bit of. But that's not the reason why I don't really vibe with that story. It's just that in the first episode, I don't know that it then comes to like the way the story is being told. The way the story is moving forward. It's not moving in a way that feels believable or like the actions are cut in like the scenes are cut in ways that is very hard to follow along with the story. So I don't know. I watched this last year. I watched it last year and I've not continued yet. I will continue this. I don't know whether it's probably today or tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. But I will continue somewhere this week, maybe because I want to give the show another chance, right? Watch a second episode, and if it's still not good, then I'll drop it. But if it's decent enough, then I may watch more. Because even for this, for the Jong Dong ship, I remember watching a show of theirs. It was called, I think, Hidden Agenda. In the first episode, I didn't love it. I didn't love the show. It was very boring to me. It was just very stretched out and I was like, dear Lord, why? What have I done to deserve this? But then I continued and I loved it. Yes, I continued the show and I was able to watch it. It wasn't anything that was like the greatest thing on earth, but it was still good and decent enough that it had my interest and I was watching them all throughout. So for that, so the same thing could happen with the story. Where like the first episode is not necessarily something that I really loved, but maybe if I watch the second episode, I may find something that I like to enjoy. But anyway, that's the end of it. Let me just add one more thing. I've said everything I need to say, and I think it's been more than 10 minutes. So let me just cut the audio show, and yeah, that's it. Bye bye.